Yo, what's good, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sisters review. This is season 6, episode 13, entitled Truth Is. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you choose to tell somebody to tell somebody. But if not, just sit back, relax, and we're going to get right into this thing. Now, we're going to start off with Bayo, who can literally jump in a saltwater pool with both of his eyes open. I'm trying not to send people to hell, but in this review, some people going to get sent to hell, but not Bayo. Even though he got on my nerves and he was hella offensive to me for what he did to Sabrina, it ain't hell worthy. It's saltwater pool worthy, but not hell worthy. So, on episode 12, we ended off with Bayo demanding Sabrina's hand in marriage, that she was going to be one of his 9 wives. He called his mom to tell her not to kill the big goat because there's no wedding going on. So I can honestly say, for me, this was one of the absolute worst scenes or piece of dialogue that has ever taken place in the Sisters universe. We find out that Bayo was joking. There was never going to be a wedding. He never wanted to marry Sabrina. He did not call his mother. None of those things happened. He was not in search of a green card. He made these things up because he believed that that's what Sabrina thought about most Africans. I said, Tyler Perry, was you chiefing, big brother? Was you smoking while writing this episode or this scene? Because it literally made no sense. Now, even though Sabrina, yes, she's green and she's naive, and sometimes her brain just be floating in la la land, Sabrina actually liked Bayo. She told him episodes ago that, he took her out dancing and out to eat, and it was the best date that she ever had. So she actually did like him. And the fact that he tried to gaslight her and throw these judgments or this projection onto her, I was like, what? Now, I could see if Sabrina actually said those things or believed those things, but in that scene, you can clearly see that she wasn't believing what he was saying. And it was like, I'm so confused. To me, Tyler Perry has a way of trying to make every man on this show a victim of some sort. How is Bayo the victim? How in the hell did he supposedly read Sabrina? Because when he left, Sabrina was like, I guess I just got read. No, sis, you really didn't. Because what Bayo said to you was bullcrap. Try not to curse so much. It was bullcrap. The only thing that I agree with Bayo on was the fact of his dislike for Maurice. I already said I wasn't a big fan of the homophobic trope that Tyler was trying to give Bayo, because I did not perceive it as that, even though episode 12, Bayo did say something about not liking Maurice's lifestyle. He made it seem like there were so many reasons why he did not like Maurice, which I can agree, because there are so many reasons why I don't like his ass either. But Bayo did tell her, like, I don't want to marry you, and I enjoy your night, and he walked out. And I'm like, is this the last that we're going to see Bayo? At this point, I won't even be sad that he left, because the way that he tried to project his own insecurities and what he felt other people felt about him Sabrina's way, I did not like it. And that would be a complete turn off for me, and I would never give him the time of day. But he did tell Sabrina, make sure you and Maurice are in court so I can get my money back. And for that, I don't blame him. That was $1 million. Y'all better show up in court. But anyway, fast forward, I'm going to hop around. So we get to a scene with Q. Really don't make I don't care about this man at all. But Q was brought back into the interrogation room where he met with Logan and the DA. And basically the DA was telling him that, you're lying. The thing that disturbs me about Q is that he is so gung-ho on trying to blame this robbery on Maurice and Sabrina, knowing full well they had nothing to do with it. And this was a lie that he was willing to stick with until the ends of the earth, or until he was 6 feet under. This man literally was trying to tell the DA that he was making a mistake. And the fact that he even was trying to sound believable. Like, no, you're making a mistake. I'm telling you, it was them. I said, and the Academy Award goes to, because really, Quincy, This is what you're doing? I said, DA, get him up out of him. So Q leaves, which I'm hoping is the last time we ever see him on the show because there is no need for him. And I love the fact that the DA got into Logan's ass to let him know that everything that he was doing, even from the trafficking, stopping the trafficking at the airport, everything has been done for Logan to either get a raise or a higher position. Logan is one of those men that I despise, just people that I despise in general. That you're willing to step on the small person. You are willing to put innocent people in jail who look like you, your brothers and sisters in prison, knowing of their innocence, all for the sake of a position. And sadly, this stuff happens way too often. It happens entirely too often. I can appreciate the storyline for that point, but when I say I am so done with this robbery storyline, it's just... It was stupid from the beginning, it was stupid in the middle, and it's stupid now. The DA also told Quincy that it was his co-conspirators who turned against him. I said, good. Lock his ass up for the max amount of time so we never have to see him again. Moving right along. So we see Fatima and Zach, and they're in the car, and they're on their way to visit Michael at Heather's because, Zach... he can't eat because what if his son not eating? All of a sudden, what I'm saying, he can't eat because his son might not be eating. I said, Tyler, I can't. It's so convenient. It's just so convenient. But anyway, so him and Fatima are talking, and Fatima makes a statement that she does not, bother people unless they bother her first. And Zach was like, oh, no, that's cap. Like, that's cap. And then he brought up Hayden. And this is the thing that gets me about Fatima. Fatima lies. Well, before we get to that, she says that, she does lie. She tells Zach that, I may have done something. And I was like, what's she about to say? Like, what the hell did you do? And so she tells him about the whole thing with Tamara hooking her up with Hayden. And now, they're married, and she just did not expect it to go that far. Like, she kind of feels bad about it. Like, she got some type of sympathy or remorse. And I'm like, hold the hell on. So you have some type of sympathy or remorse for setting up Hayden with Tamara because you didn't know it was going to go that far as marriage. Yet, you had Hayden almost killed. You broke into his house. You destroyed his father's ashes. You destroyed his car. You busted out all the windows. You don't feel sorry for that, but you feel sorry about Tamara? What? I'm sorry. Tyler, you was definitely smoking on some good. Because what? That doesn't... I guess for me, it doesn't even make sense as far as Fatima's makeup for her to feel guilty. Like, it just... about that in itself. Because my thing, and then when she was telling Zach the story, she didn't tell him the whole truth. Because Tamara is not some random regular woman. But Tamara is the best gold digger that Madam had. Because that's what Fatima asked for. So I'm like, sis, if you're going to tell the truth, if you're going to tell this story, tell the whole thing. Just like you be so pressed for Zach to tell you everything and don't leave nothing out. Hold yourself to the same standard. So Zach makes a statement, and he was like, how long they been together? Like, how long have they known each other? Talking about Tamara and Hayden. And Fatima says, oh, like 2 weeks? Zach starts laughing. What? He thirsty like that? I said, oh, calm down, my dude. Because 2 weeks after knowing, let's not even go to 2 weeks. A day and a half after you met Fatima, baby girl bailed your sorry ass out of jail for $5,000, took you to her house. I'm finna sing a song. She took you to her house, and y'all got it on and popping on that wall. You don't remember that? Just 36 hours prior, you had to look in your back pocket to even remember her name. So let's not do that. I don't even want to protect Hayden or stand up for him or take up for him, but I have to in this moment because I'm like, Zach, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that because 2 weeks you and Fatima was basically in a relationship, living together, having all kind of blue light special sex in the shower. So you're not going to do Hayden like that, my bro, because your nose was wide open after a day and a half. So let's not do that. We're not going to do that. And I'm going to finish out Fatima and Zach scene. So They get to Heather's house and they are posted up on the car. So in my mind, again, I'm like, why the hell are they just standing outside, leaned up against the car? If you were so gung-ho to check on your son, why you not upstairs? But I digress. Because then we see the nosy ass neighbor who comes and she's like, what y'all doing out here? And, she was like, if y'all wait for Heather, like, she not here. And basically telling them that Michael is upstairs with some random dude or whatever the case may be. And so she was like, I've called CPS and everything like that. And I'm just like, it amazes me that for Fatima to work at a law firm and for this woman to have already claimed prior to that she has called CPS, there have been, police come out there and do whatever they need to do. I'm like, you never checked to see if investigation have been taken out on Heather. You never checked to see if there was any open investigations. There were open cases with Michael and CPS and all those other things like that. Like, where are you with that? That hasn't been discovered as of yet. So even though this woman gets on my nerves because she nosy as hell, and when I first watched it, I was like, why is she asking Fatima, when she asked Fatima, like, how you feel about all this? I was like, that ain't none of your business. Like, why you so damn nosy? However, when I look back at it, I could appreciate her question. She did ask Fatima who she was. Zach said, this is my wife. And she was like, you cool with all this? Which was a sobering question. And I think that Fatima should have been asked that question. However, I think it should have come from people who are closest to her. Are you cool with this? How are you feeling about this? Because one thing I can honestly say, because people love to say that I don't like Fatima and all of this stuff like that. But one of the things that perplexes me is that with Fatima, and people can, you can tell me how you feel. I know y'all gonna do it anyway. In the comments, I feel like Fatima has lost herself in her relationship with Zach, because everything about her relationship with Zach is Zach heavy. It is Zach centered. Fatima's no longer in school. Fatima gave up her place that she owned to move in with Zach. Even though he upgraded her car, so you no longer have your car, everything that you identify with, everything that Fatima has identified with is now Zach's. Has been purchased by Zach. She is living off of Zach. Where is your identity? That's why I feel like she has lost herself in this relationship. So when the neighbor asked, how do you feel about all this? And Fatima was like, excuse me? No, how do you really feel? Because nothing is about you anymore. Everything is about Zach. You are literally the sidekick. Not side piece, but you are the sidekick. He is the star. So in my mind, I'm really curious about how does Fatima feel genuinely about all this stuff that's going on. I understand standing by your man and having his back and being a rider. That shit is played out. Especially when your man has told you on more than one occasion that if the shoe was on the other foot, he wouldn't be so gracious. He wouldn't be able to deal with it. So I said, Fatima, you better, every time Zach say jump, you better say how high, because he's already told you that if you come with certain types of drama, he out and he ain't dealing with it. So we hear the baby scream. They bum rush inside the apartment to this new dude, because this is not the same dude who was there the previous day. And so they close the door. The child scream. First of all, we didn't even see Michael. So I'm like, how do we know that it's actually him screaming? It could be something on the TV. It could be like, what actually is going on? Zach comes in and he busts the girl door down and proceeds to beat this man's ass. You don't even know what's going on, sir. You have no idea what's going on, and you assaulted this man. Now, I'm not saying if Michael was getting beat, I would definitely expect Zach to do something. But I'm just like, you don't have any proof. You have nothing other than a scream from a child who is developmentally delayed. You don't even know what's going on. But I digress, and I'm going to leave it at that. So that concludes them. So then we get to this scene with Andy standing outside of Karen's door. So I figured she was waiting for Sabrina and Danny to join her. So when the girls got there, she was basically standing outside of Karen's door because she was so scared to enter. I said, Andy is one of those people, and I don't even like saying this, But she's one of those people who I wouldn't mind seeing them get their ass beat just one good time. And I probably really shouldn't think that or say that, but that's really how I feel. But anyway, God's still working on me. But Karen could hear them talking outside her door. So she opens the door and they go in. This scene was very interesting because if you listen to our Sisters Keeper, which is on Erica Vane's channel right after Sisters end every Wednesday, I talked about how when I first started reviewing Sisters, which was in season 2, I had this love-hate relationship with Danny. Danny was the sister that I didn't like her. It wasn't, I didn't like her. I had to grow to like her. And even now, the like ain't that high. Okay. But I do love all of them. But Danny just one of them ones. I'm like, I would never be friends with her. That's just me. But Danny has a way of, I'm 100%. I'm going to tell the truth. If you don't want the truth from me, whatever. And I'm just like, Danny, it amazes me how you can have so much ability to speak truth to Karen when your life is jacked the hell up. And I mean jacked the hell up. Yet you want to sit here to me in this seat of righteousness and speak your truth with an illuminating allure as if everything you're saying is right. Now, what I will say is I do agree with Danny when she was telling Karen about, yes, Zach does love you. We all heard him say that. He says it all the time. But the love is different. And that I do agree with. The issue that I have with Danny saying that, even though I agree with her, is when that episode happened, when Zach was, overcome with compassion and just relief when he realized that Karen was alive. Danny was the friend who was pumping Karen's head up. Well, yeah, I saw how he did it, girl. Like, it's almost as if you were in agreement with her. You were agreeing with the things that she said, as if you believed that Zach still had residual feelings for her that was deeper than just me having love for you. And now all of a sudden, I'm like, that's why that seesaw, that up and down, that wishy-washy trait that Danny has, I'm not a fan of it. I got to give Sabrina her props because before they, I guess showed up to show their concern for Karen, Sabrina asked her, wait, Karen, are you sure you want to talk about this? Like, you want to talk about this? And I appreciated that so much in that moment because I believe as friends, it has to be a greater concern for your friends, to me, mental health and just them overall than you feeling the need to be truthful. Because truth is a necessity, but so is making sure that my friend is in a position to receive my truth. Because some people don't care. And not that I feel that someone has to be in a place of receptiveness. However, my desire to be right or be truthful to me cannot supersede the totality or the holistic health of my friend. And I feel like a lot of times when they get together, that is definitely not the mindset or the genuine heart concern. They just want to tell the friend how I feel. I'm right, you wrong, suck it up, change. That's normally their dynamic, but I really love the fact that Sabrina opened it up with that. Andy. The fact that Andy can sit in Karen's face, because Karen was very calm. I love this Karen. She was very calm, talking, in a calm tone, calm demeanor. And she did tell them that she had called her doctor because it was a concern for her, the way that her emotions were up and down. She was like, so I called the doctor and, we're going to talk about that more when I go in tomorrow. So Danny was like, oh, you blamed it on the baby. That's why I'm like, Danny would be one of the people I would slap the taste out her mouth. Because I don't, it's so hard for me to like her consistently. It's so hard for me because I feel like when it comes to Karen, she is so aggressive in her approach. When it comes to Andy, she will tell the truth, but she lets stuff slide because Andy pays her. Meaning Andy gonna take her out to eat. Andy gonna pay for drinks. Andy gonna take her to the top-notch restaurants. She's getting something out of that. And Karen doesn't cater to her in the way that Andy does. And Karen also doesn't ignore or put up or justify her actions to me the way that Sabrina does. Sabrina just gonna go with the flow. And I'm just like, Karen and Danny don't have that dynamic. But when Andy tells Karen that Aaron told her that he's the father, Karen was like, well, why would he say that? And Andy was like, I don't know. And then Andy asked her, is there a possibility? Like, could have possibly slept with someone else? And Karen was like, who do you think I am? The only thing that was missing was the word you. It should have been a question. Andy, who do you think I am? You? Now, what I can say is, now all the girls gets it in. All right? All the girls gets it in. But if we want to be honest, if you just look at who has slept with who has had sex with who from the duration of Sisters, Karen has had the least amount of sex. Okay? I'm going to just put that out there. The least amount. All right? The least amount. And let that land where it is. But I'm glad that she told Andy, yes, I am offended. I want you to know that. And it's the fact that she apologized to Andy. Because Andy was like, I think I'm owed an apology. I said, you owed an apology for what? What are you owed an apology for? Because just an hour ago, you were sitting in your office with Fatima running down Karen's possibility of who was sliding in between her legs, as if that is a conversation that you should have been having with Fatima in the first place. And that's why I can't stand Andy. Oh, I can't stand it. If you my friend, be my friend. And if you can't be my friend and be friends with someone else, but I'm that person, you ain't got to make the decision. I'm going to make it for you. I don't care how long we've been friends. When I see that your loyalty has shifted, I'm going to let you have that. And I'm going to bow out gracefully. So speaking of Daniela, who just has so much truth, she tells the girls that her and Preston are together. They made it official. She's giving girlfriend energy. Yet she's curious about this guy who invited her to this club from her job, and she wants to go because that's the same restaurant that Andy is supposed to meet her blind date at tonight. Danny knew that Andy was on this dating app because her behind is on the damn dating app. Why are you on this dating app and still looking up dates when you're supposedly giving girlfriend behavior and are official with Preston? I said, Danny ain't gonna never learn. Danny ain't gonna never, ever learn. So she does tell Andy that she wants to go with her because it is a blind date. Things are crazy. People are crazy, and Andy ass can't fight. So Sabrina and Danny was going to accompany her at this blind date or whatever. So they leave. Karen tells her that, I love you. I holler at y'all later. Danny wanted an apology too. She was like, look, nah, it's just all y'all can get out. Love you. That's love. Holler at y'all later. So we get to this restaurant, right? And we get to the restaurant and, Andy goes with her little dude. I think his name is Jordan. I don't really have nothing to say about them because both of them was giving me, it was giving very much boring, very much sleepy, very much not interested. So Sabrina and Danny are at the bar and Tony walks in and Danny introduces Sabrina to Tony, Stalker Tony, and he was like, oh, I feel like I already know you. I said, Tony, I honestly think Tony is a nice guy, but Tony, he just does too much, and it's such a turnoff for me. So in walks this guy named Rich, who Rich and Tony are friends with Jordan. They came on the blind date too to make sure that the girl that he was hooking up with or being set up with wasn't crazy as well. So Rich, Tyler, I got an issue with you, okay? Why are you recycling these damn actors? Because Rich plays in as, I think what's his name, Bill? Why is he on Sisters as Rich? You couldn't find nobody else? Nobody else met the acting standard, huh? Anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. But long story short, the women decide to, have dinner or whatever with the guys. Tyler, this restaurant, what's it called? Billy Jake's, whatever he said this damn restaurant name was. That was giving steam plant. That was steam plant. I'm gonna need you to stop naming these restaurants different names and giving us the same decor when it is damn steam plant. Okay, stop it. Now this last scene, the last scene with Karen and Aaron, because she did tell Andy that she was gonna call Aaron to come over, and I do like the fact that she's not lazy with having the hard conversations. So Aaron comes over. Aaron is so happy. He like, I got to make sure I'm able to take care of you and the baby, because he still believes the baby is his. But the only thing I got an issue with you, Aaron, is because, first of all, we still trying to figure out why Curly Sue called you John. I mean, forgot about that. Secondly, who the hell gave you these results? And why are you being so secretive with it? I got an issue with that. Anyway, as he reads the results, he finds out that it's 99% that he's not the father, not that he is the father. His entire countenance changed. He was hurt. He was devastated because he wanted this baby to be his so badly, because he really does wants to be with Karen. And, she was like, I'm sorry, but, the baby is Zach's. And she was like, I don't want to do this anymore, meaning she did not want to have anything to do with him romantically. She wants to be single. She wants to focus on her and her child. And I must say that I'm in total agreement. I like this decision for her. I really do, and I'm interested to see what this new journey for Karen looks like. Now, again, this is Tyler Perry, and he, to me, feeds off of women being in relationships. I don't know how long Karen's going to be in this single state. So, again, Aaron is devastated. And so, she thanks him for it really felt like goodbye. She thanks him for everything. They hug each other. He lets her know that he would do anything for her. And she tells him that I know. Hugs her. He tries to kiss her, but she declines it. And as he walks out, he says that I'm only a call away, always. But before he leaves, as he's still sitting at the table, Karen says, I'm going to let you go now. And it made me wonder, was Karen actually doing what she really wanted to? When she made that statement, it made me believe that in some way in her mind, she feels it's best that I let you go before we get in a relationship and you choose not to be with me anymore and dealing with a child that's not yours. So that was the mindset that I had when she told him, I'm letting you go now. It was a very emotional scene. It was probably my favorite scene because it actually made me feel something other than annoyance. And I said that when we did Our Sister's Keeper, like I felt something. Not that it didn't make me cry, but I could feel many of us know what it's like when you can end something when it's not on bad terms, but understanding that as of right now, this is over. There is no more. That is to me, that's a universal feeling. When it's time to put an end to something. And I could respect that. You know what I'm saying? I really could respect that particular situation. Do I think that this is the last time we're going to see Aaron? I do not. But I believe it's probably going to be a few episodes before we do see him again. But like I said, I could respect Karen making the decision for herself, because sometimes you just have to. As women, as men, sometimes you come to the end of the road. And baby, when you get to the end of the road, you need to end it. Because when you get to the end of the road and you keep holding on, it's only going to be trouble, destruction, and strife. Let that hit whoever it needs to hit. But I want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later. And y'all be safe out there.